Good evening. Here is the news at 6. First, the highlights. Lagos State government pledges support for Nigerian Immigration Service on border security and management. Federal government unveils initiative to improve Nigeria's image. On the foreign scene, United States gives Israel 30 days to boost aid to Gaza or risk military aid cuts. The Sport Confederation of African Football delists Nigeria, Libya AFCON qualifier again amidst controversy. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State government has pledged support for the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) on border security and management. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this pledge when he received the Comptroller General of Immigration Kemi Nandap at the Lagos House Marina. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who congratulated the Comptroller General on her appointment, commended the various initiatives and ideas put in place under her leadership to strengthen the activities of the NIS.
In about a year, Nigerians have actually felt, your interventions. Nigerians have actually felt all of the very creative and very strategic initiatives, that you've actually done. And let's say it, you are one of, the shining lights.
Earlier, the Comptroller General of Immigration, Kemi Nandap, said she is on a southwest border tour, starting from Lagos in Seme-Idiroko to monitor the operational activities at the border, as well as officers and men of NIS.
Is invested in technology, so we have a lot of e-border, technology now, facilities at our borders, especially the unmanned area. So we've deployed the e-gate. We also have the API and the PNR. We also have we've also built our command and control system. What that does is, and we also have a data center system as well, and that is even a tier 4. It's at a tier 4 level.
She noted that Lagos, as the economic hub of the nation, has a huge border line, including on the land, sea, and waterways. Hence, its strategic importance of her visit was a call on Governor Sanwo-Olu and to continue to support operations of NIS offices for improved productivity. Our correspondent Adeola Akindele reports that Governor Sanwo-Olu also received the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, and the management team of the institutions, where he describes the establishment of additional universities in the state as not just a responsibility but a beacon of a vibrant future for tertiary institutions. A 2-day fiscal planning summit has kicked off in Lagos State to ensure the state's growth guided by sustainable, inclusive, and innovative planning principles. While declaring the summit open at Victoria Island, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who called for collaborative effort among stakeholders, described the theme of the event as apt and pivotal to reshaping the future of a mega city and envisioning how truly a smart city should be without minding the strict enforcement of the implementation process. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged town planners to be creative and take the front lead to ensure their activities are done in line with international best practices in the best interest of the people for actualization of the Themes Plus agenda of making Lagos a 21st century mega city.
This is a responsive and irresponsible government. We take all the points, we take all the issues. Our commitment is to continue to ensure that the ease of doing business improved upon, enhanced, that we do not kill investors, we do not kill investment, we will not drive away funding.
The State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Oluyinka Olumide, said the summit is aimed at better positioning the state for investment as proposed in the Operative Development Plans, ODPs, with expert in urban planning, resilience development, partnership, legal and policy analysis, risk management, project finance and governance to explore options available for implementation of the ODPs for sustainable development.
Lagos, we must leverage our successes to overcome our challenges. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, the future generation, to begin to us a defeated state.
Earlier, the keynote speaker, former Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, identified the important roles of town planners and economic planners in envisioning how the city's environment will evolve and how the nature's assets are utilized for prosperity and growth of the state without any inconvenience to residents. Fashola, who commended the giant strides of the Sanwo-Olu administration called on government to expedite action on the completion of Ekpe waste collector and recycling plant, Olusegun Adeniran water project, Phase 2, more housing projects, and reclaim the BRT while expanding waterways transportation and embracing sport and entertainment sector as panacea to the problem of youth unemployment in the country.
If the town planner decides on these critical development plans, including rail, as Lagos State has commendably done, it is the responsibility of the economic planner to put numbers to them. This will form the basis for this year to year that the finance team and the treasury department have to raise money for.
Our correspondent Adiola Akinele reports that the Lagos Physical Planning Summit is themed Rethinking Lagos, a new vision for a regional and integrated megacity with various stakeholders from the build sector and partners in attendance. The Lagos State government has opened the pedestrian bridge at the Lakbere Estate bus stop on the third Milan Bridge axis for public use. Special advisor to the governor on infrastructure, Olufemi Daramola, said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave the directive to open the bridge based on the high premium the state government placed on the safety of lives of the people. An inspection was carried out on the bridge by a team comprising Lagos State government officials from the Office of Infrastructure and the contractors was to determine its fitness for continued public use. Daramola urged pedestrians and commuters to see the gesture of the governor as responsive and timely.
Is invested in technology. So we have a lot of e-border, technology now, facilities at our borders, especially the unmanned area. So we have also deployed the e-gate. We also have the API and the PNR. We also have we've also built our command and control system. What that does is, and we also have a data center system as well. And that is even a tier 4, it's at a tier 4 level.
Meanwhile, pedestrians, road users, and residents in the area also applauded the state government for being proactive in always ensuring the safety of lives of citizens. It will be recorded that the bridge was damaged by the impact of a container-laden truck that tried to maneuver under the bridge, bearing a load that was far beyond the provided headroom of the bridge, thereby causing a negative impact on both vehicular movement and pedestrian users of the bridge. The Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, has sealed off several establishments across the state in a bid to enforce environmental laws and protect public health. The agency's enforcement operation, which took place in areas including Fagba, Yanoikwaja, Ifakoijai, and Orile Agege, led to the closure of multiple businesses found in violation of various environmental infractions. General Manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, who reiterated the agency's firm stance on environmental compliance, said the affected establishment had previously been issued warnings but failed to rectify their environmental infractions. Ajayi said the affected establishment would remain closed until they fully comply with regulatory requirements and demonstrate a commitment to upholding environmental standards. He also urged other businesses across the state to be more conscious of their impact on the environment. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has launched the Nigeria Reputation Management Group, NRMG, an initiative aimed at reshaping how the world perceives the country. The NRMG, spearheaded by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations with the backing of the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, was formally unveiled in Abuja by the Minister, Mohammed Idris. And this group is being positioned by a game-changing strategy to confront these negative stereotypes and present a more accurate, dynamic narrative of the country's strengths and potential. Idris stated that the ceremony will play a pivotal role in promoting and changing the global perception of the nation by showcasing and highlighting its true identity, achievement, strengths, and positives, while also amplifying the voices of various people. He emphasized that a strong national brand attracts talent, tourists, and investors, and this combination in turn further strengthens the country, positioning it to attract even more positive investment, talent, and national development. The federal and state government have restated their commitment to HIV sustainability and response. They made the commitment at the National State Engagement meeting in Abuja. Speaking at the meeting, the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Temitope Ilori, said there is a need to deconstruct and redefine what the HIV program sustainability means. Ilori said everyone has roles and responsibilities in this sustainability plan, adding that sub-national stakeholders are critical to this plan as the epidemic is far from over. Also speaking, UNAIDS Country Director Liu Zekeng said, though remarkable progress has been made regarding HIV response in the country and globally, there is a need for country ownership of HIV response. In foreign news now, the United States has written to Israel's government, giving it 30 days to urgently boost humanitarian aid access in Gaza or face having some U.S. military assistance cut off. The letter, which calls on Israel to end the isolation of northern Gaza, is the strongest known written warning from the President Joe Biden administration to its ally. The United Nations says the situation in northern Gaza is desperate as it delivers the food aid allowed into the area in more than 2 weeks. According to the UN, which condemned the large number of civilian casualties in recent days, about 400,000 Palestinians remain in northern Gaza. Meanwhile, Israel says it is rooting out Hamas fighters who have regrouped in the north in an offensive which has forced closure of water wells, bakeries, medical points, and shelters. In sport now, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has listed the Group D second leg fixture of the ongoing 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. The game was earlier scheduled to take place in Libya by 8 p.m. after the first leg took place in Godswill Akpabio Stadium, Uyo, on Friday. The Super Eagles beat the Mediterranean Knights by a lone goal in the dying minutes of the game. The return leg has been greeted with controversy after the Super Eagles players and officials narrated their over 14 hours ordeal at the Libya airport, leading them to return home. Meanwhile, CAF said it had launched an investigation into the incident after the Libya Football Federation alleged sabotage and threatened legal action against Nigeria. And that's it on the news at 6. But just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supplied 86,000 dual furniture to 775 public schools? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has pledged support for the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) on border security and management.
Lagos forward.
The federal government has launched the Nigeria Reputation Management Group (NRMG), an initiative aimed at reshaping how the world perceives the country. We also told you that the United States has written to Israel's government, giving it 30 days to urgently boost humanitarian aid access to Gaza, or face having some U.S. military assistance cut off. Finally, in sport, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has delisted the Group D second leg fixture of the ongoing 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Coyote Afolashiri. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.